Hi, my viewers. Welcome to Professor Beatrice Talk Show. If you are a new member in this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, share my link with others. Today we are talking about parenting styles that has been a challenge in the society today, where many of the parents with their children, they are having issues, and these issues require a lot of understanding among the parents and their children. I want to encourage us as parents to understand that our children also, they count and they have their say. Even if they are very young children, even if they are teenagers, adolescents, they require to be listened to. And that is why today we are discussing about the various parenting styles that we would be practicing in the society. One of these parenting styles is authoritative parenting style. Authoritative parenting style is where parents are very warm. They are actually very kind to their children, they talk with their children, and they give them time to share issues. So when these are children, whether they are young children, whether they are teenagers, whether they are adolescents, or even married children who are adults, they are given time to share their issues. And as a result, their stress levels go down because they also feel accommodated and loved by their parents. At times, they are given time to argue and even to share the challenges that they face in life and even correct their parents. Because as we know, no man, no woman, no child is perfect. So we require one another in the family for us to grow. There is this other parenting style that is the opposite, the direct opposite, called autocratic or authoritarian parenting style. What is this, my viewers? It is the kind of parenting where the parents are very strict, too strict to their children. They actually make rules, and these rules, they don't give reasons for these rules. For example, a parent may tell a child to be at home by 6 without really telling them if they come at 7 p.m., for example, in our African time, what would be the consequences? My colleague parent, I would encourage that we really set rules and tell our children why we are giving them these type of rules. This kind of parenting style where they set very, very tough rules and very divine rules, and when these rules are broken, the children are punished, the children are talked harshly by the parents, it can lead to depression. And that is why the teenage suicide is on the increase in Kenya today. This parenting style, my dear parent, it produces children who are rebellious, children who are highly vulnerable to stress, children who are goalless or they have no aims in life. And therefore, as parents, we need to listen to our children and be accommodative to listen to their ideas. At times, they can tell you what to do, what not to do, and this will bring up a child who is responsible. Other parents, they practice neglectful parenting style. This parenting style is where the parents, they neglect their children. Actually, they just give birth to their children. They don't care about their schooling activities. They don't care about their relationships. When these children are having issues in life, the parents have no time with them. And so these children feel neglected. And so when they get their peers, they are easily wounded by them into bad behaviors, bad characters like drinking, quarreling. They can mingle even in the unlawful sex that we know in the world today, which can make them become criminal gangs. Therefore, these children, they also become abusive later in life because at one point in their life, they were also neglected by their parents. And this will produce children who are very vulnerable to stress. They are highly irritated. They are not corrected by authorities in schools. And so you find these children will always conflict with the teachers. The issue of banning of schools These parents neglected their children long time ago, and that is why the indiscipline issues are so many in the world today in schools, my viewers. There are other parents who they avoid their duties. They are not there to provide for their children. So it is like they just left their children alone to find to fight their issues in life. And so you find that these kind of children, they really become irresponsible because the parents never took time share with them their issues, their developmental issues, especially among teenagers. They want to be told what is a challenge when you reach a certain age as a child. And therefore it becomes a big issue for such parents, and the children will not link so well with their parents. My dear viewers, there are other parents who are too permissive. What do I mean by too permissive? Too permissive is the type of parent who does not question any behavior. When the child comes late, they have no issues. When the child steals something and brings into the home, no problem, my son, no problem, my daughter. So it is like this child is left alone in the jungle to fight. And as a result, this child becomes irresponsible. They don't know whether there are rules that needs to be followed, my viewers. And as a result, you will find that this child, later in life, they develop characters of being irresponsible. They will not obey any authority. If such a teenager gets a job, or even an adult child, an adolescent gets a job, they will not be responsible. Why? Because the parents were too permissive. They didn't even question anything, and as a result, this child becomes very irresponsible. So my viewers, it is important to note the reason why we have the increase in teenage suicide and adolescent suicide that is on the increase, and the mental issues like depression, is because parents did not have quality time with their children. And I would urge the children also to listen to their parents. And I want to share that children are very important. They also have very good ideas that they can share with their parents. And as a result, they can make their parents also become very responsible and very good and very caring. There is another parenting style that is really coming up in the world today because of the parents who are working. Parents who are doing their studies, especially the young parents. What is happening because of the work, they arrange with the daycare centers. They can take them to professional daycare centers. Others, because of the financial challenges, they take them to daycare centers that are not well developed. And as a result, these children will have issues because of competition, sharing their resources with other children. So parents are encouraged. When you take your child to a daycare center, you need to understand the caregiver. Do they have a secure attachment with your child? Is this child safe? Are they sharing resources with other children, like food, like the sharing of the pampers? Are they comfortable? Are they having time to pray? Or the caregiver is being too strict to them? So parents, it is important to note that the daycare centers can be good. They can also be bad if caution is not taken. Then the daycare centers that are okay, you'll find professional caregivers who understand the developmental stages of children. And such children will have time to pray, they will have time to share with other children, they'll have time to even laugh, socialize, time to sleep. And so it gives us children who are very responsible, children who are able to accommodate others, children who are forgiving, and that will make the children become responsible adults later in life. So my viewers, today we are encouraging the authoritative parenting style. The authoritative parenting style is where children also have their say. The parents, if they have no money, they will tell their children that we don't have money, and they should be able to understand that mom and dad can also work. So when you do that to your child, they understand when there is lack in the family, because you have made them get used to the family economic and times, and even times of plenty. And as a result, when they grow up as children, they will become very responsible in the society. So my viewers, I want us to practice the parenting style that would be the best for our children. And now the question is, supposing the father has a very strict parenting style, the one we have called authoritarian, and the mother is having authoritative, how does it balance? Now, such a child can be swayed into one side of parenting style. So some children will become too strict like their father or like their mother. Others will become too authoritative like their mother or like their father. And so as a result, the parents come together and they take the weakness of one parenting style to be the positive of another parenting style, so that they team up and bring up their children in a way that they think it will really help them. For example, if a child is told by the father to do one task, the mother should also be there to support the father. But when the father says A and the mother says B, then this child lacks direction. And as a result, they just choose to rebel to one parent, or they can decide to rebel to both parents. So my colleague parents, I urge you to really take these children with love, with warmth, and when you set these rules, let the children understand why these rules are there. My viewers, I had an experience of an adolescent girl in Form 2, and this girl, the parents were too strict, both the mother and the father. And so what happened to this Form 2 girl? It was during the holiday. She spent the holiday with a friend, and that time it rained too much. She was not able to go home, and so she spent at a friend who was a girlfriend in Form 2, and therefore there were no phones maybe to call, the mobile phones, and so the parents of the friend decided that she spent in their home. Then the parents of this girl, they were too strict, and therefore they even judged her and they concluded that she was out, maybe with another boy somewhere. And so when the girl was brought in the following day by the mother of the friend, the parents did not even listen to this girl. So they put the mark, a mark that is marked X, meaning we don't require you in this home. Why? Because you have spent outside. Little did they understand that the lane was too much, and even these other parents understood where the girl was. So before even the mother of the friend explained to the parents, this Form 2 girl entered into the house and they took some gramaxone, which is a poison, it's an insecticide, and she drank it because the parents no longer needed her in the home. They had already judged her because both the mother and the father were too strict. And so the girl passed on. So my viewers, it is always good to listen to our children. They are also human beings who can think, who can advise, and who can make us also correct our ways. Thank you for watching this episode on parenting styles. I hope you have learned something. Kindly subscribe, share my link with others, and like it. See you next time. Bye.